Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
How access to supplies has been affected by the floods in BC.
You can see there's holes throughout our whole thing. This is normally chock-block full.
Edmontonians show their support to the people of the Wet'suwet'en Nation.
But that our rights to our lands, our territories, and our cultures are respected.
And the UCP do some reevaluating.
Clearly, there's still a lot of work for the Premier to do to recover his leadership in the party.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. As we all know by now, southern BC was hit with an atmospheric river earlier this month, causing catastrophic floods and mudslides.
The impact of these natural disasters are still being felt in our city today. Our Thomas Wildman joins us live from our news center with more on the story.
Yeah, thanks guys. While the floods may seem far away from us here in Edmonton, they're actually affecting us quite a bit by blocking shipping from Vancouver. This is meaning that lots of businesses here in Edmonton are running out of certain stocks that they get from Vancouver.
The flooding that took place in BC didn't only cause massive damages to homes and property. It also shut down many major highways and railways. This shutting down stopped travel from Western Canada's biggest port, Vancouver. For people like Michael Kalmanovich, this lack of access to products from Vancouver is causing shortages in their stores.
Produce, it's about 80, well at this time of year it's about 85% from BC, with only about 10 to 15% that comes from local suppliers. Therefore, we're dependent on Vancouver to supply us with our organic produce.
Even with some of the major highways opening and up in BC, we are seeing smaller businesses like Earth's General Store still struggling to get ends meet due to the fact that there's higher shipping costs with how crowded the highways are. And if they want to take the alternate route, try to go through the states, that's even more money that they're going to have to spend shipping their products to this store. The cost isn't the only problem though. The time it takes truckers to get the product out here is also contributing to the lower stock.
Normally we place an order like on Monday and we get it on Wednesday. That's from Vancouver, right? Incredible, isn't it? But now we're going to probably place an order today and it may get here on Friday. Okay, probably Monday. But depending on if it makes it through. And also
The main thing that Earth's General Store is missing right now is their leafy greens. They're very popular there as well. They have a very short shelf life, and so without supplies coming, they can't restock their shelves. And so that's really what they're missing quite a bit there at Earth's General Store.
So Thomas, is it just the BC products being blocked because of the difficulty to leave Vancouver?
Well, Stephanie, not exactly. There's a lot of stuff that is at Earth's General Store that is from California and Mexico. They provide lots of fruit and produce that we can't grow here in BC and Alberta. But to take over for that, lots of people are buying stock from southern Alberta. They've got lots of cucumbers and yellow bell peppers there. But due to the fact that they are closed for people here in Edmonton, their stock is very limited and very high in demand.
Thomas, has BC seen the end of this less than favorable weather?
Unfortunately, Rue, it doesn't exactly look like they're going to see the end of this bad weather. There's lots of meteorologists are saying that rain is definitely going to come down in these vulnerable areas down in southern BC. So it might not be as bad, but certainly it might not be the end.
Thanks, Thomas. That's Thomas Wildman reporting live from our news center tonight.
Along with the flooding in BC and the hot and dry summer we've had, it's been a perfect storm against tree farms. And while it might look like they're overflowing with supplies, they are not set to last like they usually do.
I know even in like BC where trees are, where we have got trees from in the past, they themselves have to truck in something like 200,000 trees a year. So even they can't supply what they need. So I think that with the demand growing and the supply just not being there, more is better. But if we had double what we had, I think we'd be in a lot better shape, right? Yeah.
It's recommended to get your real tree a little earlier this year or make the switch to artificial.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
The trial is ongoing for the dozen Indigenous land defenders arrested on unceded Wet'suwet'en land this month. In Edmonton, about 200 people blocked Jasper Ave and the high-level bridge to show solidarity with the Wet'suwet'en Nation. The RCMP arrested 15 people, including 2 journalists, as they removed a blockade made by members of the Giddimden clan. Though the Coastal GasLink pipeline is approved by some in the area, Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs say that the pipeline isn't allowed to cross their territory.
And it's not okay to arrest people when they are standing up for their sovereign inherent rights to protect their land, their water, and their relationships.
Coastal GasLink says removing the blockade was necessary as it caused 500 pipeline workers to be stranded. The workers had been given an 8-hour notice before blockades were erected.
22%. That is the latest approval rating for Premier Jason Kenney. He spoke to his United Conservative Party last weekend when they met for their annual general meeting. Much like the annex building here, some party members say that the UCP stated that weekend going in weak and crumbling. After the AGM, the Premier now feels more confident, but political pundits say he's got a long way to go.
The underlying factors that is plaguing the UCP haven't gone away. There's still internal dissension over his leadership, but he has bought himself some time.
The UCP will conduct a review of Premier Kenney's leadership before March. Coming up after the break, it's time to break out your skis and snowboards.
Snow Valley has opened up their hills for the season.
It's been a great uptake. People are showing up, and it's so far so good.
Coming up in sports, we'll see how the men's hockey team and volleyball team are doing so far this season, and the Elks have been cleaning house. All that and more on sports.
Coming up, we're going to find out whether you have to do more or less shoveling. Stick around to find out.
You know, Steph, this has been a surprisingly good week for not having dumps of snow all over.
Totally, and our Marco Madron is here to tell you if it'll stay that way this weekend.
All right, thanks guys. We saw some freezing rain throughout the week, but I don't think we'll be seeing any of that throughout the weekend, and if we do, it's going to be very little. So let's get started. Moving on to Calgary, they'll be experiencing a high of 6 and a low of -4. Not bad, not bad. Jasper, though, is the place to ski and snowboard. They will be getting hit with some snow, and they'll have a high of -2 and a low of -10. Now, Fort McMurray, these guys, they're the coldest in Alberta. They'll be seeing a high of -5 and a low of -10. But Edmonton will be relatively warmer. Not as warm as Calgary, but a balance where Saturday's the colder day and Sunday's the warmer day. Saturday will be hit with a high of -2 and a low of -11. But Sunday will be a little warmer than that, so make sure you have your windshield fluid topped up because it's going to get a little sloppy on the road. On to our averages. Now, we're going to have an average high of -2 and an average low of -11. The record high is 11 in 2002, and the record low, -42 in 1883. Like, seriously, did they have space heaters? Like, how do you combat that cold at that time? Anyway, that's it for weather. Thank you very much.
NewsWatch Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
I love this time of year. It's not too cold out yet, so you can still really enjoy some nice winter activities.
Exactly, which is why it's the perfect time to hit the slopes or learn a new skill if you've always wanted to. Now that we've had our first snowfall, Edmonton's Snow Valley opened last Saturday and is open for lessons.
I mean, if you're coming to learn to ski, it's the best place to come because all our instructors are certified through either the Canadian Ski Instructors Alliance or the Canadian Association of Snowboard Instructors. And it's just, you know, it's comfortable, it's small enough that you can see where you're going and get do lots of laps, and there's lots of equipment here that you can rent if you don't have your own. And really you can try out things and you can test things, and then when you're ready you can go to the mountains and have a great time.
You can check their website, snowvalley.ca, to find out what times they're open.
NAIT athletics are back in full swing. The Ooks men's hockey team and volleyball team have both won their first 2 games.
Yes, and the Elks have cleaned house of some senior management. With the latest in sports, here's our Brandon Demaray.
Thank you. The men's volleyball team is off to a good start this season with their first 2 victories coming against University of Alberta, Augustana. The team believes the reason for their strong start is their physicality and team defense.
Very physical team this year. The boys like to hit their weight room, so it's a big bonus in our game. And yeah, I'd say our blocking is really picking up this year.
The Ooks are preparing for a 2-game home and away series Friday and Saturday with Concordia University. Start time for both games is 6 p.m. After scoring 7 goals and allowing just 1 in their first 2 games of the regular season, the Ooks men's hockey team are gearing up for a tilt with Briarcrest College Friday night. Both squads have a strong power play so far this season. The Ooks are 66% on the PP, and Briarcrest have scored 5 times on just 10 attempts with the man advantage.
We got a lot of skill on our team, so we're using all of our advantages we have so far this year.
Briarcrest has given up 12 goals in 2 games they've played. The game begins at 7 p.m. and get in while you can, as this is NAIT's last home game until January 15th. On Wednesday night, the Edmonton Oil Kings defeated the Red Deer Rebels 5-3.
Power play, Edmonton still leading by 1. As away to center ice comes Leipin. Right wing side for Kupchak. He's got Leipin busting that pass to him. Leipin alone. Wrist shot. Scores!
The Oil Kings had trouble staying out of the box, taking 7 minors in the game, 3 of which were in the first period.
Yeah, it's tough. It shortens the bench. Guys don't get a regular shift, and gets them cold. It's hard to get them back into it, stuff like that. So we got to find a way to stay out of the box.
This win pushes the Oil Kings' win streak to 6 in a row. Their next test will be on the road against the Lethbridge Hurricanes Friday evening. The Edmonton Elks announced Monday that they are making wholesale changes to upper management.
The Edmonton Elks Board of Directors has made the decision to terminate the contracts of President and CEO Chris Bresson, General Manager and Vice President of Football Operations Brock Sunderland, and Head Coach Jamie Elizondo.
The changes weren't a surprise to fans after the Elks finished the season with a 3-11 record, but the interim general manager signing may have some surprised.
We are also very pleased to have contracted longtime CFL player, coach, general manager, and executive Wally Buono.
The team expects to hire a new general manager and CEO by free agency, which begins in February. So that was a quick look at sports around Edmonton. I'm looking forward to next season as an Elk fan. Are you guys doing anything this weekend sports-wise?
I'm actually the running the broadcast team for the NAIT hockey team, so I'll definitely be there tonight. I'm very excited.
That sounds great. And you, Rue?
Nothing sports related. Sorry to disappoint.
Fair enough.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, the Salvation Army is looking for volunteers for their annual cattle campaign.
While you're out shopping, they'll be looking to meet their donation goal.
The Salvation Army Cattle Campaign is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
An entertainment, a Christmas theater classic, a comedy by Edmonton's French theater troupe, and why this gazebo is going to be lit up tomorrow.
Apparel for Newswatch provided by TLA Development.
It's that time of year, Stephanie, when you're heading to the mall to do your holiday shopping and you hear that familiar jingle.
That's right, Rue. The Salvation Army just kicked off their annual kettle campaign with a goal of raising $600,000. The organization is desperate for volunteers. They cite their vaccination requirement as a reason some may turn away, or just fear of catching COVID-19 in a crowded mall. The charity hopes people will lend their time so they can reach their donation goal and help Edmontonians all year round.
Oh, when we meet our goal, it is just a fantastic feeling. It is wonderful to know that we're not going to have to struggle to help the people we need to assist. It requires a lot of money to serve all the people in Edmonton that require it.
If you want to volunteer for the Salvation Army, head to yegkettles.ca. Theatre in Edmonton is recovering from COVID, and the holiday season is just on the horizon.
And with exam looming, it doesn't mean that you can't have fun with them. Our Blake Fisher is here to tell us how.
Thanks, team. COVID hit theatre in the city hard, but Edmonton's own French theatre production company, NAIT Théâtre, is back with a show about small-town Alberta and the love of bowling. Pins is a story all about three friends who decide to save their small Alberta town by building a bowling alley and hosting a match between two bowling kingpins. The stage for the show is uniquely suited to a story about bowling.
Well, there's playing, there's bowling on stage, like this is awesome. Actually, I'm very happy with that because the stage is like a 44-foot long bowling alley, really, and then everything else happens on it.
The actors on stage bowl during the play with varying degrees of success. The show is in both French and English, with superscripts being available to those who aren't bilingual. The play has been running since Wednesday and continues until tomorrow evening. Tickets can be snagged from their website or by phone at 780-469-8400. The Citadel is back in person with their yearly production of A Christmas Carol, and it's Scroogier than ever.
There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting.
After bringing the play to a digital audience due to COVID last year, the cast and crew are thrilled to be performing to a live audience. That doesn't mean they won't apply the lessons learned from a film production.
We built a new set piece that brings Fred's door right downstage so that we could get really close to the audience, because we found it was such a beautiful, intimate scene when we did it in film.
The digital performance from last year is available online again this year. The live performances of A Christmas Carol run from tomorrow until December 23rd. Tickets are available online at citadeltheatre.com. Holiday season is right around the corner, and to usher it in with a style, the Old Strathcona Business Association is hosting the Winter White Light Up. The Light Up is happening at Dr. Wilbert McIntyre Park tomorrow from 4 until 7. All of 83rd Ave will be closed between 104th Street and 105th Street. The event includes an extended farmers market with special food vendors, several businesses in the area staying open late with special deals, and there will be entertainment, including ice sculpture, live music, and roving street performers. There's also a little something saucy for the adults after 7.
Starting at 7 o'clock. For adults, we have Mrs. Claus's Holiday Spectacular, which is a drag and burlesque show with a little bit of holiday flair.
The drag and burlesque will be in the style of a speakeasy and is a ticketed event. It fully complies with Alberta COVID restrictions, and tickets are pay what you can in support of the Edmonton Bear Clan Patrol and Edmonton artists. You can find them at oldstrathcona.ca. Exams are upon us. Students across NAIT's campus are stress studying and consuming overwhelming amounts of caffeine. Luckily, NAITSA has something to make exam time hurt a little less.
So the study party is something that we are putting together to be able to bring students some support during their finals.
The best part is it's both online and in person. The party offers yoga classes, massage therapy, and free food. There are even some prizes to be won.
We are going to give away a lot of prizes, such as free tutoring sessions, Oilers tickets, and a lot of more exciting things as well. And we are also going to have massage therapists on campus.
The study party runs from December 6th until December 10th. Events will be happening across campus, and they're free for all students. Rue, I know you're an enormous theater nerd. Are you going to go see any shows this weekend?
I want to see if I can go to both, but I have a lot of nostalgia for A Christmas Carol, so I think that's where I will be.
It's a beautiful show. Stephanie, you going to head to White Ave this weekend for the Light Up?
You know what? I love drag, so I'll definitely be there.
I'll see you there.
Awesome.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of NAIT NewsWatch.
If you'd like to catch more of us, check out our website at naitnewswatch.ca or find us on Twitter at NAIT NewsWatch. I'm Stephanie Swensrud.
And I'm Rue Baker. Have a good night.